Hello. We're going to discuss the paramedic training program selection process. That's the basis of my term paper. The paper serves to discuss the roadmap to a legally compliant process to aid the selection of current personnel who have a high probability to succeed in a paramedic training program that will allow us to upgrade our EMS system from BLS to ALS. Naval Air Station Corpus Christi Fire Department is a career department with a total of 69 uniformed personnel and 2 non-sworn personnel. The department begins a basic life support transport capability actually next Monday on the 8th of April. This follows a long ago transition of pre-hospital care from the Bureau of Navy Medicine and Surgery, otherwise known as BUMED, to Navy Fire Emergency Services that occurred in 2008. Prior to that, and prior to my arrival in the department, our personnel provided a limited capability in support of BUMED with no established protocols, SOPs, that sort of thing. It was kind of an ad hoc program. For anybody that had been in the business any length of time, back in the mid-90s, any department within Navy Fire that wasn't providing EMS was slipping behind the power curve. Previous Naval Air Station leadership failed to realize the importance of EMS and failed to implement policies and procedures that required firefighters to hold EMTB certification, which had become a fairly common practice throughout the Navy within this time frame. My first department in the early 80s required EMTB. So here we were coming into the 2000s and just trying to make that happen. So needless to say, behind the power curve. At this point, our goal is to go from our BLS transport system that will initiate, as noted, in next week, and then ultimately upgrade it to advanced life support within 24 months. Our desire, of course, is to try to utilize the people that we currently have working for us that know our program, know our system, and are loyal to the department. We don't want to be bringing in new people and paying them more than our current folks, so that's one reason to do it. It was necessary to research theory behind the development of a selection process, and based on previous attendance at the National Fire Academy, I recall a discussion of the rational comprehensive theory, which will ultimately provide a step-by-step methodology to guide our development of the needed process or solution to be used to identify highly qualified internal candidates for paramedic training. Online research indicated it to be especially suited for the public policy decision-making process. Much like the strategic planning process, the decision environment requires that you both recognize the problem and the solution and their interdependence. So that's kind of where we started in the research part of this paper. In any decision-making process, it's first necessary to understand what is to be accomplished prior to determining the relative probability of success for alternative methods of achieving the goal. Our goal is to reduce response time for the arrival of initial ALS patient care by 5 minutes. And we'll accomplish this in 2 phases. First, by implementing BLS transport, which will improve patient care for all BLS incidents with the immediacy of transport capability, and then by upgrading our system to advanced life support. As noted, the desire is to utilize our current workforce, offer them the training, and ultimately a significant salary increase of more than $5,000 annually. Also extremely important for us, any decision on how we do this must be in full compliance with the Navy Civilian Human Resource Manual, specifically subchapter 410, Civilian Employee Training and Career Development, which states, programs of professional development administered under this policy must be consistent with merit system principles. Identification and selection of employees for training and development opportunities must be done fairly and equitably without regard to political affiliation, race, color, religion, national origin, sex, marital status, sexual orientation, status as a parent, age, or handicap condition. Bottom line, we've got to pick the right people for the job and be colorblind to any other factors. It's also hoped that this short video will result in some feedback of you, my fellow students, and our instructor that will possibly be factored into the final paper. Again, I appreciate your time and thank you.